What's up, everybody? It's the movie event of the year we've all been waiting for. But first, story time. So I was actually gonna wait and see both Sonic 3 and Mufasa before writing scripts for these two videos, seeing one after the other on 2 different days. Now, I've already seen Sonic 3, and I'll share my thoughts on that in a second, but I kid you not, on the day that I was supposed to see Mufasa, I got into a car accident. Yeah, it was kind of a bad one. I mean, nobody got hurt or anything. I'm fine. The other driver was fine and all that. I just think it's a really funny story, given the fact that originally, I was going to go see Mufasa first, because I think my thoughts on that movie would be far more interesting than Sonic 3. Because I'm pretty much with everyone else on this movie. I was really excited for it, and it was all worth the wait. It was great. But for real though, imagine a literal sign from God telling you not to go see a movie. Like, you saw the good one already. You don't need to waste your money. I mean, I had already bought the ticket, and I'm still gonna go see it anyway because I know people want that video, so yeah. Just laughing at this whole situation in hindsight now that the adrenaline's worn off. But hey, at least I did see the good one. While I was planning on seeing Mufasa first, I knew people were gonna spoil the shit out of this movie on Twitter, so I changed my mind, and thank God I did. I managed to avoid spoilers for this movie somehow, and I am so glad for that. So, just to be clear, this is a spoiler-free review. You can watch the video without having to worry about anything. I definitely want you to go see this movie. Even if you're not a huge Sonic fan, I still think you're gonna have at least a decent time. But if you're a Sonic fan, you are just gonna have an utter blast. They played Live and Learn in this movie, for crying out loud. Once again, Jeff Fowler and the Sonic team did their homework and pretty much made the perfect Sonic movie. If Sonic 2 was essentially Sonic Heroes, then this is Sonic Adventure 2. That's like the best way I can describe this movie. But I think it's just straight up the best Sonic movie by far, mainly because it learns the most from the previous movie's mistakes. Like, yeah, the first 2 movies had their issues, for sure. The first movie was a bit of a chore to sit through again, honestly. The first half of the movie is just mediocre human schlock that nobody cares about. It's not until the second half that things start to pick up from there. As for the second movie, though, that's when this franchise started to realize it's a Sonic franchise and fully embrace that identity. We got Tails, we got Knuckles, we got the Chaos Emeralds. It was amazing! And it was like a 7 out of 10 movie anyway. Like, yeah, it's still Sonic the Hedgehog at the end of the day. These aren't masterclass pieces of art or anything. And 3 is no masterpiece either, to be honest with you. Well, maybe the final act is a masterpiece, but we'll get to that. Kind of like the previous movies, it does suffer from the same weaknesses as the previous movies, albeit not as badly. You still have the occasional cringy pop culture reference or joke that doesn't really work, but like the previous movies, they become less egregious as the movies went on. In this movie, there were only like 2 jokes that made me roll my eyes, which is a telling sign that these movies are improving, compared to the first one, which had like 10 of those, and the second one that had like 5. I know these movies are aiming for kids, even though I'm pretty sure there were way more adults invested in this movie than any kid, but I think we can all agree the hotel scene from the first movie can be left in the past. There's also the whole thing with Shadow and Maria, and I don't think I'm spoiling anything when I bring up what happens to her. Like, we all know what happens to her, right? Even if you don't have any knowledge of the games, this is just basic intuition. Shadow wants to wipe out humanity because of his suffering, but he had a friend in the past a long time ago. Gee, I wonder what happened to them. Yeah, even a 5-year-old would be able to put it together. But while I do think they handled the Maria stuff well enough, I can't help but feel like they could have done it better. She only has like 6 or 7 lines of dialogue in the movie. Her bond with Shadow was shown mostly through a montage, and it's fine. It works enough to get the point across. I just feel like you could have dove more into their bond. I mean, Gerald's whole motivation to destroy humanity is to avenge Maria too, but we only saw them together for one whole scene. I guess they decided there wasn't much of a point, since just about everyone already knows what was going to happen anyway, but I can't help but shake the feeling that it was skimmed over, and it just felt lacking, you know? Basically, I was hoping for something more like those Shadow Generations animations on YouTube, but it works fine enough for what it is. In fact, that's kind of how a lot of the movie feels overall, whether it's Sonic's arc of learning how to be part of a team, or Shadow dealing with his tragic past. It's good, but it's not remarkable. It does what's expected, but doesn't go beyond that. But to be fair, it's not like anyone went to Sonic 3 for deep, earth-shattering storytelling or anything. They went there for everything else. And yeah, this is just every Sonic fan's wet dream. Shadow is awesome, Jim Carrey is slaying the Eggman role like he always has, the 3-hour-long sex scene with Stone was what cinema was made for. This movie is so fucking peak, dude, oh my god. Especially in the final act. Oh my god, they did not have to go so hard on that. Without spoiling anything, it's basically the closest thing we're gonna get to a live-action Dragon Ball fight done correctly. It is so damn fun. There was cheering and yells in my theater like you'd expect, especially thanks to this one little addition they did not have to do for this movie. Oh, but I'm so glad they did. If you've seen it already, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm pretty much with everyone else on this movie. It's not remarkable, but god damn it, was it a fucking blast. I was on the edge of my seat like a little kid watching this movie. Oh, and that mid-credits scene too, oh my freaking god. I am so hyped for Sonic 4, which has just been confirmed because, well, yeah, we know this movie's gonna make a shit ton of money, and for good reason. This movie just knows what it is and what it wants to do, and does it effectively. It's easily the funniest, the best directed, and just plain the best adaptation of Sonic we've seen so far. And yet, I have a genuinely good feeling these people might find a way to surpass it with the next movie. This crew just knows Sonic as a franchise, and knows how to make the fans happy while still making a fun, charming movie for casual filmgoers as well. As long as we ignore the Knuckles TV show. Yeah, that show kind of sucked, and they should have just called it the Wade Ripple Show. Funny how everyone has just gone and forgot that show even came out already. It came out this year, too. Overall, I loved it. It may not be the best movie of the year or anything, definitely not perfect by any means, but I honestly don't care about that. I had fun with this one. I'll probably go watch it again after I watch Mufasa, just to watch that shit out of my mouth. Because we all know which one of these two is just a soulless cash grab, and which one is a layer of love created by people who genuinely love the franchise they're making just as much as the world does. I mean, what else is there to say? Gotta go fast to the theater to watch this film again. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Eggman pisses on the moon? How do you like that, Obama? He pissed on the moon, you idiot! I just can't measure up, no, not